Checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
So misinformation, I think, has been a really tricky one, because there are things that are kind of obviously false, right, that are maybe factual, but may not be harmful. So it's like, all right, are you going to censor someone for just being wrong? It's, if there's no kind of harm implication of what they're doing, I think there's a bunch of real kind of issues and challenges there.
Welcome to BBC Verify. Like you said, we are a team of investigative journalists here at the BBC. We are also a new brand, and we are a physical location above the newsroom in London. And the point of the team, as you said, is to verify video, to fact check, to counter disinformation, and to analyse really complex stories so we can get to the truth of what's going on.
I think it says a lot about the Conservative Party of Canada, that they're choosing to constantly attack independent media organizations, journalists who are working hard to keep Canadians informed and support our democracy.
She mean by they, Facebook, were on our side?
Congressman, we didn't allow the Obama campaign to do anything that any developer on the platform wouldn't have otherwise been able to do.
So she was making an inaccurate statement in your point of view?
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, appreciate the comments.
The platforms are being misused to subvert science and spread disinformation and hate to billions of people.
But this judge was confirmed 98-0 by the Senate. Just reading the words in this injunction, a, quote, massive effort by the defendants to suppress speech based on content, those are the judge's words, calling the present case, quote, arguably involves the most massive attack against free speech in the United States history, Ellie.
Yeah. You sometimes hear about liberal bias in the media these days, how they're constantly letting our government off the hook for no good reason. Frankly, I think that's insulting. It's clear that they let us off the hook for a very good reason, because we paid them $600 million.
The internet is also growing more closed, more insecure, more siloed by the day. More countries are putting up firewalls and shutting down access, using the internet to try to control speech, quash dissent, spread misinformation and disinformation.
Misinformation and disinformation is carrying people to believe things that are untrue.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. What I will say, though, is while I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country, deplatforming works, and it is important. And there you go. Good things can happen.
And finally, today I can announce that we're investing $5.5 million to build capacity of civil society organizations to combat disinformation.
That's going to be it. That's the time that we're in, where facts are sort of flexible.
That's why we got Caitlin Collins on the Hill, fact-checking in real time. It was a great interview.
Again and again, we saw the speech of a small number of abusive users drive away countless others. Unrestricted free speech, paradoxically, results in less speech, not more.
Many of my colleagues would like to look into disinformation spread during COVID-19. I agree.
Is rhetoric on social media a problem and a threat to our democracy, Mr. Ward?
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Ms. Caraballo?
Yes.
Ms. Normani?
Yes.
Ms. Tyler?
Yes.
A radical plan to crack down on social media abuse is being considered by the federal government.
This is a critical moment, really, in terms of ensuring that Twitter does not become a vector for misinformation. I mean, are you...
And in the state of New York, we're now requiring social media networks to monitor and report hateful content conduct on their platforms. Thank you, Senator Anna Kaplan, and thank you, assigned member Patricia Fahey.
And I am eligible for it because I'm verified. But there are a lot of people who shouldn't be verified.
For other platforms to measure and publicly share the impact of misinformation on their platform.
Facebook's independent fact checker may not be so independent after all.
It was on 80%. Can you imagine the restriction of media in a country where internet is free, there is no censorship, and there are 80% of internet users?
Our policy brief on information integrity on digital platforms.
Our social media analysis unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats to others. And all of this is in response to our desire, our strong commitment to ensure that not only do New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe.
That he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah.